I thought there was a stinger before I came in. Then I was just having a last swig.
I
Good
was on my
evening.
phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to see you paying attention as always. And huge thank you to Handsome, Rolf Halm, and Static Boris for actually watching this from the Creaky Blinder Show dedicated channel. So, Bjorn Hartmeyer, how are you, pal? Static Boris is here as well. Oh no, it's Andy. How are you, Andy? What's that? Phonetics. Here we go. Well, calm down. It's never that exciting. I just realized I got a sleeveless t-shirt on. I feel like Daniel Pratt. Good evening, Brian Pop Robson. And I'm sure I saw my co-conspirator Ark in the side chat a little while ago while our wonderful rap debut was playing to keep you all occupied. Jim Daniels, how are you, pal? So, a couple of things. First thing I want to do is I just want to explain the thought process Callum and I have both had about moving this show to its own completely dedicated channel. So, and Callum will chime in when I explain it poorly. So basically, we've noticed that the streams are getting about the same number of viewers. Oh shit, it's low tonight. 41. See, now, so this is part of the reason why I think it's important we are moving it, because what we've noticed is the streams just don't seem to be getting watched like they used to, you know, before I took 2 years off streaming on a Sunday night. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know.
I wonder if that's got anything to do with it.
I don't know. So, but what we thought, because from how can we say, so from a business point of view and like how much revenue it generates for the channel, they're not really worth doing, but I love doing it, and me and Callum have a good laugh doing it. It keeps Callum busy, and it's so different from me making videos that I wouldn't want to stop doing it again. So looking at the analytics, the videos are all doing okay, and the streams are just not getting watched apart from by the dedicated few. I think on the high end, what is it now, Carl? About 150-ish?
Yeah,
on the high end. You know, so it's enough people to make it worth doing. And I'm thinking that by moving it to its own channel, it's doing two things. So it's completely separating this live show from my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday uploads. So it's doing that. So then the poor performance of these videos doesn't have an adverse effect on the high performance of the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday uploads. And also by moving it to, I've already rebranded the channel and everything. I don't know if anybody's had a look, but you can just, you know, visit the channel homepage, or I think by now, if you search the Creaky Blinder Show, it should come up as a channel anyway. So I've rebranded the whole channel, and what we're going to do, we're going to separate this Sunday night show entirely from the main channel. So what that means is that it'll give us more freedom to talk about other stuff other than stupid flat earthers. You know, we can be, it's a completely separate channel. So I know it's not going to be for everybody, but the ones who do like this Sunday night show, you should start getting a lot more out of it than just hearing me whinge about flat earthers being boring for 2 hours on a Sunday night. And who knows, maybe it'll become its own, you know, complete. It'll still be me, obviously, and Callum, but it can be completely separated from what I've built this channel on. Does that make sense? Am I explaining you know, sort of the conversation we had? And
you've explained it perfectly. And Monkey Wrench, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Is we worry that the views of this stream, even though there is a dedicated audience to it, we're worried that it's kind of confusing the algorithm.
Yeah.
So if we just separate the two, it helps keep the main channel in focus, and it kind of switches because it's still your second channel, but it's not anymore. It's just going to be a content dedicated to this.
Yeah. So, and you know, we were saying things like, if we did end up talking about flat earthers, because obviously I'm going to end up talking about flat earthers like I have, I think this is the second time I've referenced flat earthers since we started 7 minutes ago. But, so if the live stream generates a clip that's more suited to the main channel, i.e. I've been whinging about flat earth, and that's where we put it. But if, I don't know, Callum finds a clip that he can make from a stream, and we ended up talking about comedians like we have a couple of times, it makes more sense for that to have nothing to do with the Creaky Blinder channel and only belong on the Creaky Blinder show chat. I'm starting to regret naming it that now.
Why?
The Creaky Blinder channel and the Creaky Blinder show channel. Not that much of a difference, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe the name's a work in progress. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It could end up being called
the Church of Tidyology.
The Church of Tidyology, or two silver balls in a box. I've always fancied that name.
Yeah.
It's
too fast, too creaky.
Yeah. Thank you, Christopher Shapley. Suns out, guns out. That's exactly why I've got this Daniel. I'm not in costume. I'm not, kind of pretending to be Daniel Pratt. And I forgot to put a t-shirt on, to be honest with you. I think this is inappropriate dress even for a live stream, but maybe that's the 52-year-old man in me. I don't know.
It's not the first vest you've worn this stream.
No, I know. I've worn a vest top before, but I don't know. I just feel a bit weird. Right, I want to quickly address something. I hope Rubik's is still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still in the chat.
Just reach out to me, pal. That sounds awesome. I'd love to get involved. And if you're going to ask Di to reply to... It's funny, right? When we put one of these streams up as clips, and I think it was a flat earth clip. It's like, why I hate this, whatever it was anyway. And Dai Ling Ping commented on it that you're gonna my ass bugger them, he said.
Yeah.
I've learned to switch this on years anyway, and I thought, opportunity. Dai, how do you fancy coming and being a guest on the podcast on a Sunday? Oh yeah, no problem. At US, or would we do it remotely? And I replied, what's happening now, pal? And I WhatsApped him, and I haven't heard a thing since. I think it's been about 3 weeks. But
come on, Di.
I know, but I will say the last time I WhatsApped him, I think it took him about 7 months to reply. So I'm not saying he's not keen on replying to me, but perhaps he just likes to think about his responses. Like Elon Musk sort of.
Yeah,
and that because he's calculating his answer, isn't he? He's not gonna.
I used to think that, and now I think it's just like a monkey.
Or he's downloading it or something. But it could just be a monkey with symbols. You're right.
That's what I think.
Maybe it's that. Maybe he's carefully considering his answer. Please subscribe. What do you think it would take to get Mr. Kent Hovind to debate one of the three great grifters of Flurf, Oakley, Wise, and Dubai? Do you think Will could convince Hovind as a fellow globe young Earth creationist? I don't know. I see, the thing is, and I said this in the Kent Hovind video, it's so pointless debating Kent Hovind because he's been using exactly the same. You've never seen a Kent Hovind debate, have you?
No.
Yeah, keep it that way.
Yeah.
He basically just says, you'll present him with a piece of, I don't know, wisdom teeth. If evolution isn't something that's real and that isn't happening all the time to everything everywhere, then why is it now a lot less people are being born with wisdom teeth?
Yeah.
Our mouths are now too small for wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth? For wisdom teeth. Just checking. Mine's not loose, and that's why I fumbled my words. But yeah, so we're already evolving wisdom teeth out of our mouths. Why have we got a tailbone and no tail? And Kent's response to that is always like, yeah, but cows make cows and dogs make dogs, and yeah, okay, you can just say you haven't got an answer.
Yeah,
because it won't sound anywhere near as ridiculous as you do now. But yeah, strange one.
Welcome to the Blinder guy.
I know you're already a member. I can't think of a button to press for that. I've given up trying. See, I'm doing it again. Kent Hovind is why I check both directions before crossing a one-way street. Yeah, he's the reason I close my eyes when I drive down one-way streets in America. Hopefully, I let them.
That is the only thing with Kent Hovind. He's just such a genuine piece of shit, isn't he?
He's just a massive dickhead. He is.
Yeah.
I can't. You know, like they say, you should never base somebody on your, never judge a book by its cover, and give somebody a chance, and then there's people who say, oh yeah, your first impression is always the right one. Kent Hovind is one of those people. Even if I try to look for something nice about him or positive, you can't even do that.
Yeah,
he's just horrible, absolutely horrible. And somebody sent me a video this week, right? And I'm probably going to have to not sentence. See, Kent's been to jail makes me think of jail. I'm going to need to self-censor myself when I say this. So, and the person who sent it to me isn't in the chat. So I got sent a video this week, and it was I'm frozen on the screen for there. I'm stuck. Come on, wake up. So somebody sent me this Kent Hovind. I think it was an episode of Whack an Atheist, and I went to the timestamp, and basically what he said was, when the guy with the little mustache who isn't Charlie Chaplin killed loads of swedge.
I don't know what that means.
Swedge is spelled SWEJ.
Yeah, okay.
Right? It didn't matter because they're not real people. They're no better than animals. Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, I don't know where you're going with that.
Put both the mics down. Mute both the mics.
Wait, Kent Hovind said that?
Yeah. I feel so bad having to, but I don't even know if I can say it without this video getting nuked into oblivion. It's that disgusting. Brian got it and he's old. Oh, lip reading.
Well, yeah.
We should have turned the cameras off as well. What a tool burger.
They were the next words coming out of my mouth. I was going to go, unless you can lip read, then you knew exactly what was just said. But either way, the problem with Kent Hovind is, even if you isolate
problems.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is even if you isolate all his issues and forget about all the rest, every single one of them by themselves is enough to make the judgment.
Yeah.
So what he just said about Hitler, crazy. And then the fact he allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because I don't know, houses or housed a sex offender.
There's nothing alleged about it. It's been proven.
Well, there we go. Even if you isolate all these and forget that, he's just a piece of shit every single time.
He's just a garbage human being. Full stop.
It's crazy.
End of debate. No need for a rematch. He's a scumbag.
And it's nuts because you've obviously watched probably accumulatively an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours of content of Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Kent Hovind.
I've actually watched more of Kent Hovind's content than Kevin Smith's movies. But that's another thing. See, is that's why I don't make that many videos about Kent, because Whack an Atheist is almost always above half an hour, and my sweet spot for a video to respond to is 15 to 20 minutes, CC video length. So I've got to watch an awful lot of Kent Hovind's mouth flapping about like a Canadian from South Park.
Yeah. Relax, gang.
Exactly.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, I love you, nobody.
I'm going to wear that button out. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I've probably watched more of Kent Hovind flapping his head about than I have of to get my 15-minute video. I've usually watched Kent Hovind's video, maybe you edit, like 3 times through.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why literally they can be, and I know I've done this in plenty of videos, they can literally be in the middle of making a point, and I'll just reply and go, oh, is it? Thanks for watching, everybody, and blah, 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 because it's just that I'm done. I am completely done.
Yeah.
There is a limit to how much stupid even I can listen to in a day. Ooh, super chat. Thank you. Is this the first super chat of the new rebranded channel? If it is, you're welcome. If it isn't, enjoy the $5. You know, since I rebranded it, yes, it is Static Boris, and thank you very much indeed. I'm going to start ignoring all the things people say about you behind your back. Plug, are we still saying that? I don't know what it is with Brian. I think you know, because I've met him, so I can visually. It doesn't matter. I'm just easily amused. Good evening, Rune. Good evening, Storm Shadow 134, 3-pin 13 amp. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure it. I say this every week, and every week passes, and I do nothing about it. We want because when I say butt in a video,
Yeah,
I put the big butt getting slapped, and now people put plug in the comments for each time I use it. And Storm Shadow very cleverly came up with 3-pin 13 amp instead of saying plug. So there'd be loads of comments saying plug, and then one that said 3-pin 13 amp. Oh, hang on. Oh no, it's Andy's trying to get involved as well. 240 volt 3-pin 13 amp. That's American, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know the.
I'm not an electricalologist either. Sorry, that was my fault. Yeah, you started it, Storm. You started it. Yeah, why did South Park make him look like a split-head Canadian elbows up? Yeah,
Well, I mean, they've made a lot of people.
Yeah.
What they tend to do is if they use, if you're referring to like this season with the Trump episodes, whenever they use real photos of celebrities, they tend to give them the Canadian flappy head.
Yeah, it's probably they used to do it with Saddam Hussein as well, didn't they? He was a flappy head guy as well, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I know you haven't really watched it, but this new season, that's kind of they've just put Trump's face on the character, the Saddam Hussein character's body.
Yeah,
because like the same music plays when the scenes begin.
Yeah, even I noticed that.
He's also Satan's lover, and he refers to. He says to Trump in the episode, like, "You remind me of this guy I used to date," and he's referring to Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, that's from South Park the movie, though.
Yeah, that's from the movie.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Please subscribe.
Shall we? Move on to.
Should we move on to the topic of the evening? Put a jingle there in the edit.
Yeah.
Like I say, because as we've already explained, we're moving the whole show to the other channel now. I'm going to stop saying second channel for a minute. We want to have interesting things to talk about. So Callum and I sat down together this week for about 43 seconds, did a quick Google search, and this is what we came up with. We didn't really. It took ages. So
I wish that was true.
It was yeah, I know. It was kind of off the back of the Kent Hovind video, because people do find the whole topic of evolution interesting, especially as there are so many people like Kent Hovind who think it's a load of old shite, which is funny because that's exactly what he is. He is literally a pile of old shite wearing a Glenn Quagmire shirt. So we did a little bit of messing around and sort of asked Google a few questions. And I think I asked it for something like, give me 10 worldwide current affairs topics, something like that. Something like that. And this came up as one of the results, and it was talking about evolution. Because, you know, Google don't listen into your conversations, do they? Or else would they know? But it was just looking at sort of the cliff notes on the website. It was really interesting because there was things. See, this is where flat earthers go wrong. They fail to realize that almost every day is a school day. How many times have you learned something new and not even realized you've learned something new? Because I had absolutely no clue that there were people This is probably like not a nickname, but I'm sure they got an official name. High altitude humans. And they live at 8,200 feet above sea level. Now, if we tried living that high, we'd be getting nosebleeds, blood clots, and all sorts of problems, labored breathing. But these people, and I am using notes, right? Like I say, I've never pretended to be a scientist. I'm not. We're talking about this because Callum and I both were like, why is this so interesting?
Yeah, I think we started talking about it because I mean it is the next one, but we were talking about those the sea nomad people, because that's what I said about, because
Yeah.
we were talking about
That's
obviously
right.
current proofs of evolution that are
Yeah.
happening right now.
Yeah.
And this kind of led us
Yeah.
down this rabbit hole.
And realistically, these should all be things that even Kent Hovind couldn't argue with because they are literally happening now,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it was the bad BAJAU, the Baju Sea Nomads. They can free dive to 230 feet, hold their breath for up to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
See, this is what I don't understand, right? So I don't doubt that for a second, right? Because I'm not an idiot conspiracy theorist. But it's like, so if you have some sort of accident and you stop breathing, your brain is deprived of oxygen for, is it like more than 3 minutes or 4 minutes, somewhere around there, and then you're risking, life-changing injuries, some form of brain damage. But then there's people like this who can hold their breath for 15 seconds. I don't.
Yeah, it's literally that, and it's proof of, well, because what it says is, wait, well, I feel like we're jumping ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking a question, and now you've started speaking. I'm going, right, so that's right.
Yeah, we're in the set. Yeah,
so, I told you, I did say I only skimmed through the show notes, so didn't I?
Because I think there's a lot of videos about all of these, and there's plenty of examples all over the world like right now of
pull one up. Let's get claimed again. Why not?
But no, that's what I'm saying. I think these, I can't remember, these high altitude humans, as they were, they came out called. I can't remember. I think it's in like, there's like Tibetan people, I think.
Yeah, it
was
the well, yeah, what was it though?
I'm surprised we didn't put it on the notes.
Yeah, I know.
I'll find it now.
But it's just so cool, and it's things like that that make people like Kent Hovind even more baffling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But the same can be applied, in my opinion, to any conspiracy theorist, because
the proof is out there.
We've all got these, even these. All this information is available to anybody who wants to read it. It's not some, secretive cabal hiding the fact that, I don't know, if you drink beer, you get pissed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a big secret. And it's, with even flat earthers, I hear them saying these things, like, what the hell are you talking about? It's just do a Google search or any search engine.
Yeah, but this is the problem now, is you just said the words Google search, and then they go, aha.
Yeah, but unless the Google search they think supports their position.
Yeah, well, obviously,
then it's no longer aha. Then Google's awesome.
The same as you can say to any of them, show me proof. And then you go, okay.
Yeah.
And then you send them the link and they go, aha, it's NASA.
Yeah.
Can't trust NASA.
Exactly.
It's always the most convenient. Everything that disagrees with them is wrong, and everything agrees with them is right.
Yeah. Please subscribe. David Combs. Oh!
What?
Oh! Did you see the TikTok I sent you this morning? The Daily Mail.
Oh, no, what?
Sean P. Diddy Combs found not guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking.
Shut up. That can't be true.
Yeah. But Johnson & Johnson are suing him for bringing baby oil into ill repute. That last part is probably made up unless you find out it's true.
Was it the Daily Mail account?
Oh, don't tell me I've fallen foul of a.
No, if it's the Daily Mail, that's why I can't see it, because I blocked the Daily Mail because I refuse
Is it?
to ingest
Right.
any of that
Yeah,
tat.
it was the Daily Mail.
But yeah, I don't.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't see. There's no way. There's no way.
Him
Plus,
being
it's the Daily Mail, so it's probably bollocks.
Him being found not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering was, and I said this in a video last week. I said it in the Kent Hovind video, in fact, and I'm going to say it again. I liked it that much. That's the same as somebody being caught outside an open bank vault with a swag bag over their shoulder saying, "Want me?"
So, Sean Diddy Combs was found not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But, was found guilty of 2 counts of transportation for prostitution related to Cassandra Ventura. That's Cassie, I assume. And another woman known as Jane. These charges, while less severe than the initial allegations, still carry a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Despite the guilty verdicts, Combs was denied bail and will remain in custody pending sentencing. So he's not out of the woods.
You're absolutely right. Could have been worse. I could have seen a moth or something, then you'd have lost me for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do struggle to keep on topic.
Yeah, that is crazy though. But anyway, evolution.
Yeah. Evolution. But yeah, like I say, so we came across this while we were looking for something to talk about. And it's just...
It's insane how many examples there are.
Those first 2, there's our notes, right? No secrets in here. Definitely no secrets in here.
Yeah.
This is just the first 2, the high altitude peepsicles and the underwater peepsicles. How can you... What does it say they've evolved? Like oxygen tanks on the back or something? When you dive, your body's dive reflex kicks in, yeah, I know that. Heart slows, blood goes to vital organs, and your spleen squeezes out. And your spleen squeezes out extra oxygenated blood. The Baja difference, their spleens are about 50% larger than their neighbors. Well, they've been measuring, have they? Think of it as a bigger scuba tank inside, giving them an extra 9% oxygen, a 9% extra oxygen boost.
So yeah, they basically have got an extra oxygen tank. But inside,
yeah,
it's insane.
Exactly, and yet you've still got people like Kent Hovind who say evolution isn't. That's evolution.
Yeah,
and probably in 500,000 years they'll be even better at doing it.
Yeah, and I saw something. I don't know if it's in the notes or if it's in a video I was watching earlier, but the proof that it's evolution and not adaptation is it's not only the people who dive who have the enlarged spleens.
Yeah.
So everyone, even the people who don't do that for a living or don't go diving,
yeah, they've also,
yeah. It's genetic.
Yeah.
It's not like their spleens have adapted because they've been diving since young. They're born with it.
Yeah.
And whether you're in the water or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
fascinating.
It is really, really interesting. For the science buffs, it's linked to a gene called PDE10A, which affects the size of the spleen, and BDKRB2. That's C-3PO's, mate, isn't it, from Star Wars? Which helps with the dive reflex. What we should have put, what's the dive reflex? I think it's your body sort of trying to not panic because it knows it's somewhere it shouldn't be.
Oh, is that the thing where you start?
Yeah, that could be. I could have just completely made that up unless I was right, in which case I'll take full credit.
This shows how much of an educated and cultured man I am. All my knowledge of holding your breath comes from David Blaine. So
he did it for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's the thing is I everything I've learned about what happens to the human body when you hold your breath comes from David Blaine.
I'm convinced to this day. I don't care what anyone says. I don't even care if he was out of the country because he's David Blaine. I am certain I walked past David Blaine in Times Square, bit further up than Times Square.
Yeah, I remember
I'm
you saying that at
almost
the time.
I'd put money on it.
I remember you saying that at the
Yeah.
time.
But anyway.
But yeah, sorry. The reason I brought up David Blaine was because he said, like, not he said, sorry. I remember when, I think it was the first time, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the first time he tried to break the record for holding his breath. It was after he had, remember when he lived in that like fishbowl for 7 days?
Yeah. No.
And at the end, you don't remember that?
No, I said yeah automatically, and then I realized no, I got no clue. I've seen him as an ice cube buried underground,
Yeah,
standing on a pole.
the box
The
in
box
London.
in London by Tower Bridge.
Yeah, he lived underwater. He obviously didn't hold his breath for a week, but
he's good, but he's not that
Yeah.
good.
But so he lived under the water, and he had his oxygen, whatever. And at the end of that, he attempted to break the world record, and he started like, what?
You've just reminded me of another evolution proof related to water.
Okay, go on then.
So you know when you go in the bath or the shower and
Yeah.
you get the old crinkly old lady fingers?
Yeah.
Do you know what that's by design? That's so that we don't fall and
Yeah, it's grip, isn't it?
injure our coccyx in the shower.
Yeah.
It's another part of how we evolved. And we evolved the,
So what is the evolution? So what is the purpose? What's the evolution?
grip.
It is literally
Yeah.
just grip.
Grip when you're sort of, I suppose, back in the day, 6,000 years ago, if you had to run away from a T-Rex,
Yeah.
then, you sort of would have had to evolve leg muscles. They would have been like Popeye's arms. So, and if you were, you were barefoot or naked, or if you were posh, maybe you had a fig leaf. And if you were sort of perspiring, it could do it, because when you perspire, you lose grip.
Yeah.
And when you're soaked, it does it then so that you can grip stuff. But anyway, the dive reflex, right? It's kind of what I said, but I just explained it terribly.
Okay.
So it's basically when a mammal's face is submerged in water, especially when they're holding their breath. It's stupid putting your face in the water and not holding your breath, isn't it? No wonder people only used to live till 35 in the 1840s. And the reflex helps the body to conserve oxygen and protect vital organs during periods of apnea. I don't know what that is. Apnea as in...
So is that...
As in not breathing for a fixed period of time.
Right.
Like my dad's got sleep apnea. My mother, it's like she sleeps with Darth Vader every night. And he was sort of stopping breathing when they did the test. I think the longest he stopped breathing for was like 1 minute and 14 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So that's when they give him the old, I am your father. They give him one of them.
Your father, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So apnea is obviously when you're deprived of oxygen. I'm gonna guess is the scientific explanation.
So it's when...
But remember, I am guessing. These videos are definitely not educational, because I'm just using my extraordinarily bad memory recall skills. So
yeah, and we're trying to come into these kind of not blind, but
yeah,
you're learning with us.
Yeah, we want to sort of.
Well, yeah, we're not trying to approach.
That's just Sheldon Cooper thing to say. We wanted you to sort of enjoy the possibility of learning something as you're watching me learn it and Callum learn it, if that makes sense.
This is something we didn't consider, but this is true. There's probably something we're gonna learn over the weeks or whatever that you might end up using as an example in a video debunk.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Christopher Shapley, DVM, CVA, CVCV, CVCH, CVFT, Spanner, longest standing channel member, supporter, and my pal. Chris, yeah, so my apnea is being deprived of but I'm struggling to speak tonight. Are my lips on upside down or something? Well, look when you put your socks on the wrong feet. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is for me, because some of my socks have literally got an R on the right foot and an L on the left foot. I didn't do it or need it done. We bought them like that because I thought it would be funny. But now, because I don't know, I know I'm weird, but it's like I have to put my socks on in the correct order, and I can't just rip them off and throw them on the floor in the night either. They get sort of positioned. So my Crocs. Oh no, I forgot we were live.
Yeah, wow.
My Crocs go there, and then my socks go to the left of my Crocs, and my pajama pants go to the right of my Crocs. It's all about escaping in an emergency, if I'm being honest, or maybe I'm a bit of obsessive with certain things.
Are you telling me you're putting your socks on in an emergency?
Well,
No, you just jump out of bed, whack the Crocs in sport mode, and get out of there.
Yeah, I know. It'd be just my luck. The house bursts into flame. I trip over on the way down the stairs and break my neck. Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Maps. Maps. Awakening. Evolution, Creaky. That's right. But what were we talking about? Just now, I've forgotten that already.
The underwater people.
Oh, yeah. The underwater people and the wrinkly fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wrinkly fingers is a grip thing.
Yeah, there's a video here. It is from the BBC, so it'll definitely get claimed. But about these I want to make sure I'm Badjow or Badju.
Badjow, maybe, I don't know.
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly.
We'll
find out.
We'll make it look as if we knew when you edit it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we'll do. I know there's something interesting, right? The Badju or Badjow sea nomads, that's really fast evolution because it's happened between 1,000 and 15,000 years.
Yeah, I read that earlier, and I thought that was fascinating. So if I'm remembering correctly, it is one of the most, I guess, modern is a way you could say it, like examples of evolution.
Yeah,
because it only happens in like this small little corner of the world. And that's another thing we could. It feels related because it's proof that different regions and stuff that we should look into. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of blue zones. So no, blue zones are these regions. They're usually like small mountain villages for the most part, rural kind of areas, and they have the most people who live to 100 per capita.
Oh, right.
And you know, a lot of the times they're all over random parts of the world. I know there's one somewhere in Asia. I want to say it's in Japan, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
There's definitely one in Italy, and they all tend to have the same things in common, the lifestyle, and it's just interesting. I think it's not, you know, about evolution, but it shows how you know, I don't know what it shows, but it shows that there's people in these areas who live to be 100, more than most people.
That's a nuts age to get to. So my great auntie, my mother's auntie, she's 98 and she still lives on her own.
Yeah.
But she is failing, and she's failing fairly quickly, sadly. But she's 98. What else is she going to do?
I mean, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't even know if I would want to live till that age.
I think it depends on your
how well you are.
Yeah, what's the
I'm
quality of
now
life.
when I'm only 52. So what am I going to be? I'll probably be a pile of dust with glasses sat on top of it by the time I'm 98. Yeah, if I'm lucky.
I think, yeah, it completely depends on your quality of life, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it depends what kind of...
What's your diet like? Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you take... There's so many factors in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean more like some people just sort of... They can be healthy people, but they'll just sort of like wither away in old age.
Yeah.
And everyone does eventually, but like, I'm thinking of like, well, my great-grandfather who lived till 99.
Yeah.
So I remember his 90th birthday, and if I think back now, he probably had the energy of like a 70-year-old man.
He was still going up the ladder to clear out the guttering on the front of his house when he was like 96.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because
that was kind of where he went downhill, wasn't it? He
he
fell.
fell.
And I think from
broke his hip.
was it the top floor as well?
Yeah, he fell a long way.
96 years old,
Yeah.
cleaning his windows, falls to the ground.
No, he was cleaning the gutter in, so that's
so even higher.
So literally the roof of the house.
Yeah. Falls from there, 96 years old, shatters his hip.
But that slowed him right down there. And then he deteriorated very quickly after that. But
Yeah.
that's the point I'm trying to make. See, if you like that, minus the injury, you know, that made him become not as well,
Mm.
you know, or being like my great auntie who can, you know, she's barely got enough breath in her lungs to get up off her chair, walk to the kitchen to make a cup of tea and come back. She has to stop for a rest halfway.
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't live in the south wing of Buckingham Palace. She lives in a
small,
an old person's accommodation. So it's basically a bedroom with an ensuite in there. And
just like a little studio apartment style thing.
So it's not big, you know, it's about the size of our kitchen, which I know doesn't help anybody watching this, but you know, our kitchen is just, I don't know, kitchen size. It's not big and it's not small. It's very average for the UK. And she said that's about the size, maybe the utility room as well, of the whole apartment she lives in. So if you haven't got the breath to walk from, you know, A to, well, not even A to B, it would be A to A and a half.
Yeah.
You know, how can you? I don't know. I don't think I would want to live until I was 100 unless I could, you know, if I'm still like this when I'm 80, brilliant. But I know I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, but this is the funny thing about you know, bringing it back to those blue zones was I don't remember all the things they had in common, but I remember one thing they all had in common is that they never stopped moving.
Isn't that a
mobility?
Yeah.
So and it sounds silly as well, but a lot of places in Asia do this. They squat a lot. Like there was this thing in Thailand where you can spot like a fake Thai
so
or whatever.
You've got like 90-year-old women with big booties in them because they've been squatting.
I don't mean squat like in the gym. Like if they just want to take a rest, they just squat down.
Like women do when they go to a public toilet. they have to do the hover.
Yeah, but they just squat down and they'll just stand, you know.
I know what you mean.
And they'll
squatting is
and
like
flat-footed as well.
Yeah, like we say, oh God, gotta have to sit down for 5 minutes. The old dogs are barking. They just squat.
And what they all say is, if you never stop doing that, you're always mobile. You're always going up and down.
Well, your knees are definitely not seizing up, are they?
Yeah, your knees are always going to be strong, and a lot of them do contribute that to their long life. Is they never stopped moving. A lot of people retire and they go, I'm going to sit down now, and they never get back up. You know.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a population. I can't remember whether it's Japan or Okinawa, but I could just be thinking of the Karate Kid.
Right.
But they've got a very elderly population, like lots of people over 100.
Maybe that's possibly one of the blue zones I was talking about.
Yeah, I've read something about it, or maybe seen a video about it.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Let me just address these couple of super chats. Ooh, super chat. Thank you. Be interested to see if Kent's got a larger gallbladder to hold all his bile. He's just a cock wombling. I hate him. Ooh, super chat. David Coombs, as opposed to Combs. My favourite Welshman, unless you beat us in the Six Nations. What's the Six Nations, Cal?
Rugby.
Oh.
Do the sport, Wales.
Yeah, do the sport.
Yay, touchdown.
Yeah, that's it. You're out. And all... Is that
3-pointer from the try line?
Is that enough sporting references to make people think I know something about sport or care?
We're such football.
I was right. Jesus just told me, so you know it's true.
Well.
So I knew it wasn't the Karate Kid I was thinking of. You know, Pat Morita was like my age when he played Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, I feel like I saw that somewhere recently.
And do you remember as well? The YouTuber with the tattooed eyeball, Valonius.
Yes.
And I was chatting to him one day and he went, Uncle Pat? I was like, what?
Well, he's
He said-
related to him.
No, he's not related to him. He's he was a uncle. You know,
So just like a family friend.
a family friend,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But he's like,
That's cool.
yeah, he's a really cool guy. I've never heard him speaking like in his normal voice.
No, not really.
It just breaks the whole illusion. It's
Well, 'cause-
heartbreaking.
yeah, where's he from?
He's American.
I knew he was
Yeah.
either British or American.
Yeah,
I
he's
couldn't remember
American.
which one. Very funny.
Yeah, get lost, Andy. I saw that. I'm not even giving any screen time.
But I will.
Damn. But yeah, I knew I'd seen something about it being Japan or Okinawa. I'm sure
Yeah.
you know, it's
It probably is one of those blue zones. Because there
Yeah.
was definitely one, I said, didn't I? I
Yeah.
think Japan sort of region.
and I bet if you looked at information on any one of these blue zones, I bet you exercise is a common factor.
Yeah. Mobility, exercise, they tend to all grow and eat their own food.
Makes me
as well.
wonder what I've been doing wrong, because I've had a gym membership for 3 years and I still look like this.
I
And I'm
know.
going there in person this week to see what the hell's going on. Yeah, it's got exercise and it's gonna be exercise and diet, isn't it? Plain and simple.
Yeah, but then
You know, none of them are on 40 Lambert and Butler a day, are they? On
Some of
on
them.
Okinawa?
Of course
is
they
it-
are.
Is it Chinese people or Japanese people who seem to be born smoking?
No, I think it's just everywhere in Asia. It's
Is
the same,
there?
well, that's probably a massive generalization, but there's one thing I know
Maybe.
about Asians is they love to smoke.
They love
Every
they
single
love
one
a
of them.
fag.
Yeah,
A cigarette.
yeah.
I forget that not all my audience is from the UK.
No, but it does. It seems to be way more like still culturally accepted to smoke cigarettes in
Yeah.
Asia. It is not the best. I would advise against it. I was
Yeah.
not about to say it was one of my favorite things about being there. That's terrible.
They say if you walk 15 minutes a day, it helps with longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
I thought I'd seen 30 minutes, but I'll take 15 minutes over 30 minutes any day of the week. But yeah, Chinese are big smokers. All my kung fu teachers were and are smokers. And it's weird though, isn't it, how a certain population will all, and I know, right, I'm not saying every Chinese person in the world smokes. It's probably only something really low, like 99.999999999. Insert the Ali G clip here. Percent of people who are Chinese smoke, but I don't know. It's just interesting. Maybe they evolved to smoke.
I don't think it is just Chinese people. I think it's
Yeah,
Asian
people in general.
Well, maybe like more Southeast Asian. I don't know what it's like in sort of like India and Pakistan.
Yeah,
That those sort of, I don't know what their smoking habits are like.
yeah. Is it? What's this? A pick on Creaky stream? Is it? Well, at least you paid for the privilege. Thank you, Jim Daniels, and you become a member. Yeah, I'm starting to see that you are a member. Trying to read the year on Creaky's right arm, but it's under the jiggly skin. Too much to see the last number. It says 2010. Oh, you're over here, aren't you? It says 2010, and it was the year that I had this tattoo sleeve done to raise money for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. So ask me another. That was really confusing then, because looking at the screen, it feels like he meant this arm.
Yeah, and how do you feel like Jim Daniels? You're making fun of his arm, and it was raised. It raised money to help dying children.
Exactly.
I bet you feel like a tool, don't you?
And Chris Shapley said, "Sons out, guns out." And they're not that wobbly anyway. Are they? No. Anyway.
I don't know, but there was just a draft then.
Yeah.
So I think
that might be. My feet are freezing.
No.
We put the air conditioning on early today to make sure it didn't get too hot and sweaty in you. And
I'm quite nice in you, I am.
yeah, my feet are a bit cold. Plus, I go get some socks now. Socks and sliders is the way of the future. I have my anniversary date on my arm. I don't have an excuse to forget it now. Do you know what my master stroke was to never forget my wedding anniversary? I got married to Mrs. Blinder on her birthday, her
Genius.
21st birthday. So now I buy her a card for each. I'm not tight. I don't write, to Mrs. Blinder, happy birthday / anniversary, because it saved me £3.99.
Yeah, you just put that burden on me. So every
Yeah.
year now, I have to buy 2 cards.
Yeah.
Because I can't go happy anniversary / birthday, man.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
So you might have saved a couple of quid getting married on her birthday, but it's costed me double every year.
But yeah, so that's how I and I've got it on my hand as well. 3rd of the 10th.
Well, since we're doing
1992.
dates, I have 1996 on my arm, which is also my year of birth, and it's just in case I forget.
Oh dear me. I just saw something in the chat that I wanted to go back to. Biceps dropping like a cartoon character. Thanks, Indie Brony. Creaky has bingo wings. Hey, calm down now, Mr. Storm Shadow. No, you forget both. No, I don't. I still buy 2 cards as well. I haven't even downgraded her to a combined card. Cheek. My father got married for his 3rd time on his birthday, so he wouldn't get the date wrong. Do you like wedding cake? Does he douchebag? A year Wales has been obliterated on that date. This because Creaky forgot the anniversary of the birth. Yeah, you might be onto something. You met my wife, have you? Oh, dear me. Robert Charlton. Oh, like Charlton and the Wheelies. Only old people will know what I just referenced, so Brian's definitely going to respond. I was an English teacher in China for 4.5 years. Smoking is a sign of wealth over there. What you smoke shows your wealth. You can buy cigarettes for 10p. For 20 and up to £100 for so it's a status symbol. That's very interesting. So not evolution then. Just a status symbol.
I did not know that.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's
this
very
is what I mean.
interesting.
Every day is a school day.
Yeah.
There's a fact I can only half remember now and get wrong every time I tell somebody about it.
Yeah. No, that is very interesting.
That is.
I guess it used to be the same a lot in the West. I guess in the maybe, I don't know, early 20th century, surely the types of cigarettes you were smoking would have been seen because, old films and stuff, you always had like the posh women would have those long skinny ones, but they'd also be on the end of one of those sticks.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I'm sure the thing is, there's no wonder I'm not getting enough.
Oh, no.
I told you I actually use food, don't I? But I usually put something in them.
Where
I can't remember where they are now. I'll pinch a bit of you a vape if I need
okay.
it. But yeah, it's, I suppose, I don't know which way around this should be, but it's like my grandfather always smoked Woodbine or Senior Service. But I got a funny feeling they were the 2 brands. It was like, just working class people.
So yeah, that was a workman's cigarette.
Yeah, they just like filterless. And I pinched one and tried. Jesus, like smoking a bit of old raw. Honestly, I've never experienced anything like it. Ooh, super chat. Thank you. Thanks for being a good sport, Creaky. You rock. I do try. I roll a bit as well. Now and again.
I'm party every day.
Yeah. Right. What we talking about? My dad chose Marlboro. There were campaigns in the US during the 50s saying smoking was good too. I remember my father-in-law. His doctor would actually be smoking when you go in for an appointment, and he'd be smoking. And if you went in with a bad chest, have a fag, I was thought, get you coughing, chest be clear in no time.
Yeah,
that's
insane,
that's why Grandpa smoked.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, but they would literally say,
wouldn't they also,
if you went in with a tight chest, have a fag, you'd be right then.
But yeah, wouldn't they also give you menthol cigarettes if you had a cold or something like that.
Yeah.
Menthol, that
Yeah.
that'll clear your sinuses.
Yeah, it's nuts, it is.
It's so funny.
Absolutely
isn't it?
nuts. Indie Brony, I remember, Creaky remembers 1950s ads. He's been lying over his age.
Yeah. He's actually my great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm already 117.
Yeah.
I sleep in a greenhouse every night, and I only drink liquidized cucumber, and I only eat liquidized peas. Please subscribe.
Some people spend 60% of their day underwater.
Yeah. It's bonkers, isn't it?
But this is it must be so frustrating for you listening to people say, like, because you just look at that. What did we just watch? A snippet of that video. We watched a minute and a half of that video, and there is. Oh, you okay? You alive?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just mind blowing. The adaptations human beings can and have made, so that even skin color to a certain extent, isn't it?
Not to a certain extent. That is evolution.
Yeah, exactly.
That plain and simple. Yeah,
exactly. We
People
haven't got
migrated
dark
north.
skin in Wales because we don't really need it, because we don't get enough sun, so our skin doesn't need to be able to withstand it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why obviously most European countries are relatively they're cold, aren't they, comparatively?
Yeah. It's like when we went to Egypt. But Egypt is a strange one, because they've got the ability to that is an interesting one, actually, right? Because remember Tiger? Yeah. Remember him saying that without, he pulled his sleeve up and his upper arm was kind of as pale as I am. Not now, obviously. You could see he was dark, but his skin was fairly pale, but yet he's still able to withstand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. His natural complexion, I guess, is fairer than you'd think.
Than I thought. I was expecting him to be quite dark-skinned anyway.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you're born in bloody, I don't know, some of the hottest parts of the African continent, then,
Well, yeah. Also, very related to that is climate has a lot to do with just the way your body is built in general, because colder countries, people tend to be a bit stockier.
Ooh.
And, a bit wider, a bit more meat on your bones. Yeah. Because it keeps you warm.
Yeah, exactly.
And people from super hot places tend to be thinner, because they don't need all that. Their body doesn't feel the need to cling on to that excess fat.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to keep itself warm as much.
Yeah. I wonder if, because there would be, because we got we got one more example on here.
I mean, we didn't really go through them in order, but I this is the thing. I think we don't really necessarily have to. We're just talking about the topic in general.
And just trying to show sort of real examples that you can do this Google search yourself. You're going to find the same thing, because it's real.
And am I remembering correctly? You said one of Kent Hovind's talking points is like, man makes man, dog makes dog, monkey makes monkey,
basically,
blah, 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 old. If we evolved from monkeys, why is there still monkeys around? It kind of shows that evolution isn't one linear path.
No, exactly.
It goes off in all different branches, depending on the region, depending on the climate, depending on that species. It's all, every evolution has as they call it, an evolutionary advantage.
Yeah.
Nothing we can do is by accident.
Yeah. I saw something very interesting on TikTok earlier, and it's very relevant to what we're talking about now. Remember that guy I told you about? He's a young guy, and he's debunking creationism in all his videos.
Yes.
But he does them as skits, so he's the creationist and he's the debunker. So there was a video of his earlier on today, and it was a similar sort of thing to what we are talking about now. And one of the big ones from creationists is, oh, well, if we evolved from apes, why are there? Or no, I think they generally would say, if we evolved, you think we evolved from monkeys? Well, why are there still monkeys then? It's like the evolution doesn't mean one thing changes into another.
Yeah.
Certainly not in, a window that's small enough for us to witness in our lifetime.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Well, perfect example to go back to is the sea nomads. This is a relatively modern example, and that's between 1,000 and 15,000 years.
Yeah. I'm pulling this up, Carl, because this is just, it's a brilliant example of the stupidity of young earth creationists. If we evolved from African Americans, then why are there African Americans today? Matt Powell said that.
That's almost as stupid as saying you're not bald, and bald isn't real because I'm not bald.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. You notice I'm letting my locks grow back in, which basically means I can't be asked to shave my head at the moment. But let me
fire tuck going on.
Yeah, I know. Old man pasties on the side. I may bring the dreads back. I'm considering it.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Now that I've got a living barber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. So, and this creator on TikTok, one of his skits was basically like, oh, you think we came from monkeys, but you think one species changed to another species. And and his response was basic. So species, as we understand it, at least today, is something that we gave it the name. We decided that, right, so that animal over there, it's big and it's black and white and it produces milk and tastes nice if you eat it. That animal over there is it's shorter, it's quite fat, and it's pink, and it's got a curly tail. So, right, so we'll call that one a pig. We'll say we'll call that one a cow. Right, so what are the, we already knew they were animals. So we'll say, I tell you, I got a good word. We'll call, and there's obviously like a scientific reason, but basically the point I'm making is human beings came up with the term species, and we also really we are kind of deciding when one species becomes another, which is why they don't, because it doesn't happen within our. But basically, the reason he said it to him like that was because his argument was, obviously God did it. God made everything. So we've talked about the God of the gaps before, haven't we? Science can't explain it, therefore God did it. That's
right. Yeah.
Essentially, that's the God of the gaps in simple terms.
Yeah.
I just realized something as well, Cal, and you can put me back on track in a minute. You've been sat there suffering in a knitted beanie hat.
And he's not even here.
And he's not even here.
I know. I'm actually filming. As grateful as I am for this lovely present.
So the Wyatt, who's usually here on a Sunday, I don't know what's happened, whether there's a reason he's not here tonight. Very kindly sent Callum a beanie hat because he's an observant gentleman, and he noticed Callum has an affinity with beanie hats, and he thought it would be funny if Callum said, "This is my cowboy hat," as a sort of a cheeky wink to him sending me an actual authentic cowboy hat. And Callum wasn't going to wear it tonight because it's boiling in Wales at the minute, except for my feet. They're freezing because we got the air conditioning on. And I said, "Oh, go on, Cal, put it on for him. He'll be chuffed if he sees you wearing it." And I just realized he hasn't even been here. There we are. Wyatt, it looks like that.
I'm not happy. I put on a nice thing with like a breezy back. I was going to be nice and cool this evening, and I thought, no, do you know what? Wyatt's a lovely guy. He went out of his way to send me this hat. I'm going to wear it. And is he here? Is he bollocks?
Yeah, he's let the squad down. Right then. When I fart, I say God did it. God from my gap. Dear. Does that say this is my femboy hat? I don't know. Is that
No, it doesn't. It says this is my cowboy hat.
yeah, cowboy. No, I don't even get that. I enjoy the channel, but evolution is the biggest lie ever told. What?
Good joke.
What's the punchline?
Yeah.
What's the punchline, Chris?
It's funny you should say that,
Yeah.
because that's what we've been watching right now is examples, not
Yeah.
watching, talking about examples of real world examples of evolution that is happening right now.
Right.
You can see it. You can observe it with your own, you know, if you're Canadian, beady little eyes and flapping heads that are full of lies.
Yeah.
Blame Canada. Why do I always come back to South Park Canadians?
Because it's terrible to stereotype.
That's crazy, Chris.
Oh, Chris, come on. Just the information is there. Just read a book other than the Bible, because I'm guessing, well, it's not a guess. If you don't believe that evolution is how we are where we are today, then I don't know what to tell you. Just read a different book. The Bible isn't a science book. We can have different viewpoints, Chris. You're absolutely right. I just can't imagine why anybody would want to come on to the side chat of a live stream talking about evolution, which is humanity's superpower, as the title implies, and say that evolution is not true. That to me is complete insanity. You know, I don't know if I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's
There
crazy.
is no evidence from molecule. Sorry. There is no evidence from molecule to man evolution. Who claimed that man just evolved directly from a molecule? Now, while we're on the subject of where we came from, I'm guessing you are, and I will allow you the opportunity to respond before I respond. I'm guessing then that you basically just believe that I exist today because I came from my, generation after generation of ancestors, and those ancestors originated from Adam and Eve, the first two human beings in existence according to creation. Is that what you believe, Chris? It's fun. I get notifications for your posts. I enjoy them. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the videos. But if you're a creationist, you're a creationist. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I think it's complete insanity, just as insane as believing the earth is flat. But that's me. You are free to think whatever you want. But
I also think you can, obviously yeah, I do believe we were created, Chris just said. And I guess that's, no, that's wrong. I do believe we were created.
Right, you do believe we were created. So what is your evidence that God did it?
Well, that was the point I was about to make.
Yeah.
Saying you can have, go on.
Yeah, let's just give Chris a chance to answer. What is your best piece of evidence for God having created all of this, everything that exists today? I'd be very, very curious to hear your response. And while we wait and give Chris a minute to think about his answer, congratulations to Canada on your first rocket launch this past Friday after a 25-year hiatus, proving once again there is no firmament or Canada. Right, Chris is saying, I regularly think I'm considered the same as flat earthers, which I don't believe we live on a globe. Thank goodness for that. At least you're not a flat earther as well, because that would be terrible.
I think this is the like you said earlier, Chris, that we can't have different, what was it, viewpoints?
Yeah.
Of
course we can.
Yeah.
Of course we can.
And that is,
imagine how shit the world would be and life would be if everybody just agreed on everything all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Boring.
And I guess to a certain extent, you don't have to believe in evolution, but that has to be a belief. Your belief that we were created it's not based on evidence, it's based on faith.
Yeah.
which I guess is okay. Like that's
Of course
fine.
it is.
And if you say no, there is no evidence, but that's what I believe, and that's my faith.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you did open this conversation by calling evolution a lie, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing is as well is right. So there we are. Here's Chris's answer. I don't think everything came from nothing on its own. I don't believe there's any creature that's ever turned into another creature. Okay, that's completely fine. And as Callum just said, and it just echoes my sentiment, you're free to believe whatever you want. I don't think everything came from nothing on its own. So is that your way of saying you don't think that the Big Bang is what created the universe and then over billions of years became what we are today? I'm guessing that's what you mean. So what do you think created everything? And I know the answer is going to be God. So elaborate on your answer and don't just tell me who created everything. Explain to me the mechanics of how he created it. Because as everybody knows, there are elements that are necessary for all forms of life. Even if you break it down to matter itself, everything that exists is made up of matter.
Mhm.
There's no getting away from that. So, you know, that's how we know where we've come from, because everything is made up of the same stuff. We are all made up of the same sort of stuff. Chris, how do you think how do you think God did it? Yes, God right. So
let me just sorry, has he replied?
Yeah, he's replied. Sorry, Carl, to cut into you. Yes, God exists outside of space and time. Something within space and time cannot create it.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the God of the gaps. He can't,
Yeah.
Chris can't answer. He can't provide
Yeah.
a logical sounding answer. So he's using the God of the gaps argument to avoid answering my question. God
Yeah.
exists outside space. So basically, magic. That's how you think everything was created, Chris, by magic.
Yeah.
And
again, there's plenty of people who agree with you, Chris.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It's faith-based.
We know somebody who believes it, Cal, and he lives over there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he behaves. And we both know that he's an absolute legend who would give you the shirt off his back, which I know is an exception anyway.
He is one of the nicest, most genuine blokes in the world. He might have different beliefs, but
it's not right. Sorry, Cal. It's not a gap. It's the answer. You can't exactly know anything in the Big Bang came from. How is that? Hang on, I'll have to read that again. It's not a gap. It's the answer. No. See, you've misunderstood. You even misunderstood my response. I wasn't saying there is a gap. You have used the God of the gap argument, and you've done it again here. You can't explain it. Science can and does and has and will continue to. And because you can't explain it in a way that strengthens your argument, you've just gone, God did it because he exists outside space and time. Okay, we'll answer this then, Chris. What's outside of space and time? You know, the place where God lives. And it's interesting that you mentioned quite proudly that you're not a flat earther. Why is believing that the earth is a magical space pizza any less stupid than believing that a deity that there is absolutely no evidence for created everything on a whim? Did Chris? There we are. You can't explain where you can't explain where anything started. Back to the beginning. Where did it come from? We don't know. And that's what makes it even cooler.
It's funny that you've worded it like that, because I can't remember if I actually said this to you yesterday, but I was thinking it could be an interesting topic for the podcast. I think I saw it on Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast. It was in his thumbnail, and it was, where does physics end and philosophy begin? You're not asking a physics question.
No, exactly.
You're asking a philosophical
question.
Yeah. That's not that's not a science question.
No.
Science can only answer as much
Yeah.
as it can observe.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
can observe as far back as 13.8 billion years. That's roughly,
Yeah.
is that right?
30.8 billion, yeah.
To, you know, the Big Bang happening.
Yeah.
And that's where our knowledge ends. And that is where science is trying to push
Yeah.
towards. We're trying to get these
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah.
But
Science
that thing,
is...
where did it come from?
Yeah.
Currently, there is no scientific. So you're answering a philosophical question. So I feel like, not saying you personally, but a lot of people do this. They're conflating
Yeah.
science and philosophy,
Yeah.
and they are
And the thing is, as
separate
well,
topics.
creationists and flat earthers, they both do this exact same thing. They just dance around the bush. They never actually get to the point. There's overwhelming evidence we're on a globe. There is also evidence we were created. Whether you want to accept it, it's the difference. We look at the same evidence, we interpret. No, yeah, but that's the thing, Chris. You've obviously not looked at any evidence that supports evolution, because if you had, you wouldn't be saying it. So basically, that either means you're being deliberately dishonest, or you were so consumed by fear of something that does not and cannot exist, it's making you say really silly things like that on a public forum. You still haven't explained to me, Chris, how God created everything, by what mechanism, and do not answer again saying that God exists outside space and time, because that's not an answer. That's evasion. How did God create everything? But I'm more interested in, so if you don't believe that we evolved as we have, and has science demonstrates we have, I want to hear from you how you think. Well, no, of course, you're a creationist, so you wouldn't even need to think. You would just know how God created the first man and the first woman. What were the ingredients? Because we know what our ingredients are. We know what the ingredients are for every living thing, to use a scientific term. How did God make Adam, and how did God make Eve? So back to talking about interesting evolution things. This last one, it's not this. It's we chose three major ones, didn't we? And this and the lactose persistence.
I was gonna say this one is gonna feel very anticlimactic compared to the last two,
compared
because
to
we went from like high altitude people, people breathing underwater, to guess why we can drink milk, guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I've got this habit as well when I'm on stream of laughing at things and then not explaining to people why I'm laughing. So if you look, are you on the second page of the notes, Carl?
Yeah, I'm on the back.
You know, segment 5, other adaptations, sort of the honorable mentions.
Yeah. We've already gone through them all?
No, when I was looking at the top, shrinking Jews.
Where's that? Oh, Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. See,
Jaws and
I'm
teeth.
going to have to start printing my notes off bigger.
I know.
Because these are my looking at the computer and looking at the camera glasses.
You're going to have to get...
These are my... I'm going to have to be like, well, you know, the guy in Men in Black?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to be like that. Oh, God Christ, no, I can't see anything when I do that.
You're going to have a big magnifying glass like Nanny used to for the bingo.
Yeah. Yeah. Shrinking jaws and teeth. Yeah, that basically goes back to, you know, we've basically evolved. I've forgotten what they called now. Wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Out of our mouths, because we just don't really need them anymore.
Yeah, because our diet was different.
Pause everything. Chris has replied. I will step out of the... Oh, hang on. He's replied twice.
Sorry.
So I know you shouldn't cut me. Right. I'm not being deliberately dishonest, and I'm not scared of something. Certainly stand on my thoughts publicly or privately. We are not supernatural. We can't understand it. So God is a supernatural being then? Or, as most people would refer to that, a ghost. So you believe that a ghost created Adam and Eve. And, okay, you're not being deliberately dishonest then. This is just what your faith has done to you as a human being. But you still have refused to answer my question about how did God make Adam and how did God make Eve. Now, if I was a cynical man, which I'm not, and if I was, very experienced at listening to information from young earth creationists and flat earthers, I might think that you didn't actually have an answer, Chris. Prove me wrong. I will even invite you to think about it for a while and leave it as a comment under this video once the video is edited and uploaded, just to give you a chance to formulate your response. Because saying God did it and he exists outside of space and time, that's you needn't have bothered responding, because none of what you've said here has even been remotely close to explaining your position in a way which makes it more plausible than reality. Because let's not forget, the reality is your God isn't the only one, if there is any. There's thousands of them. Thousands of them. So I just believe in one less than you, to quote Ricky Gervais. So why does that even need to be a thing? I can answer any question you put to me. Admittedly, I may need to do a little bit of reading to answer it intelligently, depending on what the question is. But I can most definitely answer any of your questions. The problem is, you have probably already decided that I'm going to be wrong before you've even decided what the question is. So, I don't know, Chris. I don't know what to tell you. And I wasn't being deliberately arsey or trying to be a smart ass. I was genuinely trying to understand your position. God can literally do anything. Are you looking for like a math problem showing how a human is made? Non-life doesn't create non-life. There's your answer, Chris. Doesn't Genesis say that God created Adam and Eve from the dirt on the ground? Now, I don't know where in the world you live. We don't know each other, but I have never seen anything in my 52 years on Earth that would even come remotely close to making me believe that a magical man who lives outside of space and time created human beings out of dirt on the ground. So your response? Are you looking for a math problem showing how a human is made? Non-life doesn't create life? Exactly. That's how you know that God is a load of old shite. Because you've literally just debunked your own belief.
Sorry, I'm laughing because the next
Mic drop.
The next comment is, I don't take anything you've said negatively. I appreciate the calm engagement.
Oh my word.
And
there's
sorry,
the explanation.
Yeah, I see the next sentence, and that gives me all my answers.
Exactly. So there we have it.
We got a Florida man in the chat. So
North Texas fossils. Oh, they got a blue zone in Texas as well, then, have they? Why does a lowly lungfish, not a lugfish, have more DNA than a human? I have got absolutely no idea, because fish. Like Ace Ventura is in the second one when they want him to chase a bat? That's me with fish. So, no thank you. If God created us in his image, certainly not perfect. Otherwise, there would be no disease, no one would need glasses, etc. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Please subscribe. So, let's go back to milk.
Yeah.
Most adult humans, like most mammals, naturally stop producing the enzyme lactase needed to digest milk sugar after they're babies, and this can cause lactose imbalance. So, Callum and I both sort of had a look at this information, and our sort of, not our understand.
What?
Sorry.
So I thought you'd frozen on the screen,
Yeah, no,
and I turned my head to make sure it was.
It's Chris again. It's Chris.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
I meant not all worked up and shouting like I'm Chris from Westchester, and then I did exactly that. All right, Chris, you got me on that one. I'm not gonna lie. That'll definitely make it into the edited version of this film.
Yeah.
Film? It's a film?
Yeah.
Oh dear me. Right. So, and as far as we can gather from what we read, it's, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm lactose intolerant," and I think I might be. I'm actually on lactose-free milk at the minute to see if I can stop shitting my pants all the time. But I think we are lactose sensitive. Was that the word we used? I think
I
that's
don't
a
know if
more
that's
accurate way of.
yeah, I don't know if that's the clinical term,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're quite sensitive to dairy products.
Yeah.
Anything with lactose in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this was one of the reasons we brought this up was it turns out most people are, and I think if you're not, you're actually in the minority,
Yeah.
like globally.
Yeah, but let me just clarify why we're including this in the video where we're talking about different ways to demonstrate evolution. Because our bellies and milk, this is something about 10,000 years ago when humans started farming and raising animals, milk became a new important food source.
Yeah, and go on.
But doesn't that mean then that we sort of, when it comes to milk, we've devolved, not evolved?
No, not it's. I guess it wouldn't be. It would be evolved because it's something we couldn't previously do.
Or does my thinking stick on the
I,
one?
no, I think so.
Yeah, but now we can't do it again. So are
No,
we?
no. So we didn't used to drink milk as a species, and when I
Yeah.
say we, I mean we're going back 10,000 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because the world wasn't even made for another 4,000 years after that. So, yeah. So when I say we couldn't drink, I'm talking ancestors.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And me.
yeah. And so then they got farms. Once cows, I guess, started being used as livestock, we then adapted and it essentially evolved us to be able to digest dairy products.
I knew somebody in the side chat would know because we got lots of smart people who watch
There we
us. And this is based on the assumption that it's right, but Bjorn, just the name. Lactose intolerance is caused by a prolonged lack of ingesting dairy products, which kills the gut bacteria that converts it by starvation. You can get it back by taking a poop pill. What? Hang on a second now. Now I take poop pills, but they to stop me pooping. I'm guessing. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to guess. Could you expand on that a little bit, please, Bjorn? Do you literally mean you've got to take a little chip of shit in pill form? I'm getting very confused. Very, very confused.
There's
A
something.
fecal transplant. I think I've seen that on The Good Doctor.
That sounds.
Oh no,
disgusting.
Chris has confirmed it, and he's a doctor. A fecal transplant is what he means. Yeah, but you don't like swallow it. It's yeah. I have heard of a fecal transplant.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they put somebody else's shit inside your body.
What? So hold on. I looked down for 2 minutes then to read some of the notes, and then I look up, and the part of the conversation I came back to was putting someone else's shit inside your body.
Yeah, basically. So from somebody who's got the right sort of gut health,
Yeah.
they'll, in a jar, and
Swapsies.
Swapsies, yeah. In it goes.
I'm pretty sure Frank Reynolds does that on an episode of Always Sunny. He purposely gives himself a tapeworm to lose weight.
Yeah, it and apparently that then replenishes the good bacteria. I don't know. Haven't they heard of Yakult or something like that? Why does it? Storm Shadow has just expressed my sentiment in 4 little letters.
Also, whose is it and where did it come from?
Yeah,
I know where it
exactly.
came from, but you know, like that episode of Big Bang Theory where Sheldon's like half sandwich, who has the other half of my sandwich. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. Like, whose is it? When did he take it?
Exactly. It's got to be fresh. Is this? I wonder if it's
Yeah.
still warm and steamy.
What did he eat?
Who's carrying it? How do you go on and work? Oh, you should have seen the size of this
Yeah.
turd I carried into the operating theatre today. It was a 2-handed job.
So if you ever see someone running down a hospital corridor going,
Yeah, you know
what's going on in
they're doing.
surgery.
Tackleberry, good evening, pal. How are you? Tackleberry's another OG Sunday night streamer. Well, watcher of the streamer. I got kicked out of the Travelers the other day. I got up for breakfast and there were no heated bread products. Apparently, I'm lactose intolerant. Oh, dear me. Kato Rash. Oh, shoot, there's cream for that. How can I join the Illuminati? What are you asking me for? How would I know? Just 'cause I got a video on my channel saying this is how you join the Illuminati or I joined the Illuminati doesn't mean the Illuminati is real. It's jokes. But there is a website called Illuminati.com and you can join the Illuminati. Thank you, Zerg Jerk. Onion milk proves God. Onion milk? Almond milk confuses me. And stuff, oat milk and almond milk. It's not really milk.
I'm not a fan.
It's nut juice and oat juice and
yeah, I always find with like almond milks and stuff, I don't mind them, but they've got like a dryness to them.
I got to be honest, I quite like almond milk, but only in coffee and Weetabix.
I'm the same with lacto-free milk though.
I can't tell the difference.
See, to me it tastes like plastic.
See, I can't tell that. Maybe I just like plastic then. I honestly can't tell the difference.
No, I like a real milk. Because otherwise, I know.
I like a real milk.
No, but even like, I don't know, just those lacto-free ones, they're fine, but they've got a hint of plastic to them. I think they make my tea taste like plastic.
But yeah, it's not milk, it's nut juice.
Yeah,
definitely. In fact, I think they and them have had their say on this because now, when you buy oat milk, it doesn't say oat milk on it anymore.
No, it's oat drink.
Didn't even give me a chance to press that first. But yeah, you're right. It's an oat drink now.
Yeah, because it technically, I guess it's not milk, is it? It's literally not milk.
It's not.
It's just called milk because it kind of looks like milk.
How'd you milk a nut? Imagine how tiny the stool would have to be. You can join the Illuminati by becoming a dedicated member of the Church of Tidiness. No, Dave. You were almost like it's the... What do we say?
You don't even know. Church
of Creakyology?
Tidyology.
That's it. Funny enough, I released some nut juice. Oh, God. Oh, different kind of nut juice, Tackleberry. Different kind entirely. I can't find the button. Why have I lost the button to get rid of that comment? There we are. I never watch your streams or short videos. Right. I never watch your streams or short videos or videos ever, and I don't like everything you do, and I don't know why I'm even subscribed or why I'm laughing at you.
I don't get it.
Thank you, Dr. Nimrod. Dr. Nimrod has been a subscriber to my channel.
I recognize the name.
Forever. For absolutely ever. Oh, now then. Does that mean anything to you, Carl? Because that pissed me straight away.
Yeah, I know the whole Margaret Thatcher and the milk thing.
I was still in friggin' infant school.
We had milk.
I was still upstairs in infant. I did give it back.
Oh, it was.
And one day we had milk, and then all of a sudden, and it used to be so cool, it would come in a little glass milk bottle, because safety.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we'd all get a bottle of milk every day. And I remember when it went, and it Margaret Thatcher took children's milk out of their mouth.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
That's why it's great news. She's dead. Rest in peace, bitch.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, she literally, and it was like something. It was a traumatic event in my formative years.
Yeah, she kind of ruined everything, didn't she?
Yeah. It's I don't know. Did you ever end up with a lumpy milk bottle? I hated that. Yeah, now and again we used to. Now and again we used to. Callum likes a bit of lumpy milk, doesn't he? And obviously the other day,
It was
lumpy
orange
orange juice. Callum, as right, so Mrs. Blinder is awful. She gets put off food so easily, right? So, and in particular, it's hair. Right? No, that's not why I'm bald. Right? So, if, for example, we were at a really nice restaurant, it could be the bloody Savoy or the Ritz, and she clocked an eyelash or a pube on her plate or something. She would throw up at the table uncontrollably. Uncontrollably, she can't help it. So I have been out to dinner with my darling wife and seen a hair on my plate. Now, if I reach to pull that hair, oh, what was that? That was a hair on my. Yeah. So I just got, just mix it up with a bit of something, and
That's disgusting.
That's why I wanted to tell you the story, to illustrate my point. And she has passed that lovely trait on to Callum. The worst is when you have to go to the toilet. And have you seen the episode? The episode of Family Guy where Peter breastfeeds Stewie? Yeah, so Callum has got a terrible gag reflex. And we're both in trouble now.
Yeah, well.
Damn, my secret's out. But anyway, Callum, there was a swallow of orange juice left in the carton. Oh, go on, you take it. He necked it down and then it had gone off and he didn't notice and it was all lumpy and horrible.
No, it wasn't lumpy. It just tasted like alcohol. It had gone sort of like fermented. And because there was only
it was halfway to be in prison. Who?
Literally, because it was say like this much left, I thought, I'll just neck it back quickly, get rid of the plastic bottle. And then I throw up violently. Right, can we move on, please? That's disgusting.
I got a really strong stomach, in case you hadn't guessed. Please subscribe. So apparently, the inability or the ability, whoever you ask, lactose has got something to do with evolution as well. I kind of wish I hadn't included it on this list now. But apart from the shrinking Jews and teeth, surprising brain size. On average, our brains are actually the smallest they've been in 100,000 years. That makes a lot of sense. And explains flat earthers and young earth creationists. Body shape and climate, yeah. Like you were saying earlier, people in cooler places tend to be more on the portly side.
Yeah.
It's an evolutionary advantage. Skin, eye, and hair color. These traits have evolved rapidly in the last 40,000 years as humans have spread to different climates with varying sunlight. Do you know, apparently, I've got blue eyes. And apparently that's a mutation that nobody's meant to have. It means I know I got faulty eyes. I always have had.
Yeah, it's actually...
But apparently blue eyes is like...
It's a defect.
Yeah, we're all just meant to have brown eyes, I think it is.
Yeah, it's... Oh, I want to say it's like a...
Like we haven't lost all our brown eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's blue eyes is actually some sort of deficiency. You would struggle more in the sun than me, for example, because I got darker eyes.
Yeah.
Even, I'm a bad example because I can't go anywhere without looking like Ray Charles. I have to wear sunglasses everywhere I go. But me with dark eyes, I should be able to stare directly into the sun for longer.
Don't do that, whatever you do. It's but again, I suppose that's, you know, the whole eye, the eye. See, it's part of evolution, isn't it? But it's, you know, the blue eyes thing would be a defect or
Yeah, I can't. I obviously the blue eyes thing isn't on the note, but I'm gonna Google it now because It's actually quite interesting.
Do you know what's an interesting? The last thing on this sheet, right, Carl?
Mm.
It says the big takeaway is that all our inventions, agriculture, technology, cities are constantly changing our environment. So the surface of the planet, which in turn changes us, which it does. Obviously, we've evolved to live in, the types of dwellings we live in today. There wasn't a 3-bedroom semi popped out 13.8 billion years ago, and people went, "Oh, that's cool. We should all get one of those."
Yeah.
So we've
It
evolved.
happens.
We've evolved the ability to use tools. Then we've evolved the ability to, to use those tools to a more in a more creative way. Because I would imagine the first tools were, like knives and things, and they, sharpened rocks and stuff to literally to kill something so you could eat.
And I can't believe this wasn't on our list and we didn't think of it sooner. But you saying that now has given me has reminded me of another example of, I guess, modern examples of evolution. Is I can't remember when the photo was taken, but those apes, they fashioned themselves some spears and they were fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's new behavior as far as we've seen.
Yeah.
And, people have spent probably I don't know how long studying apes, but a long time. And that's new behavior. So they think that the current, apes and chimps and stuff, they're entering like their kind of stone age where they're figuring out more tools and because they use basic, they use sticks and they can do in this, but now they're starting to figure out, if I put this on this, and then
that's what
stab that fish,
and and so that's we kind of we learned to make tools, and like you just said, learned to make spears, to make those little, they were probably using sharpened rocks, and so then like you said, let's put it on a stick, and now we've got fishing rods that are made of bloody carbon fiber. We've got the internet. We've got do creationists believe that God invented the Ford Cortina? Or the internal combustion engine? I mean, he must have, because he made everything else. So where does it end?
And that's the thing. With like, this has nothing to do with religion necessarily. With people who don't, I know this is usually why people don't believe in evolution. It's I can't even switch the camera because flipping heck, die quietly, would you? God just smited you down for blasphemy.
That's what I get for talking shit.
Yeah.
Nearly choked me. What a cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are a lot closer together.
Yeah, we are very close.
Yeah, I can feel the steam off his armpit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. He's literally there.
Yeah.
We can eat here. See? Bonk.
Yeah.
We are literally
I can't remember what I was talking about now. I feel like I was dropping some mad knowledge. And I can't.
And I was asking if God invented the Ford Cortina. Creationists say God created us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to use much of this section in the edit, Carl.
I just spat on myself.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no, it's Andy Callum trying to get his inheritance early.
I know. What's in that? Bloody hell.
Oh, dear. Sorry, that's...
Yeah, go on.
No, well, what I was about to say, I guess it gets us back on track, is...
Something needs to.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting with creationists because... I find that's a less interesting answer. Like the truth, like the reality is a lot more interesting than God made the world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Bang, there we are, man and woman. Like that seems like if that was actually the truth, I'd be quite disappointed. I'd be like, well, that's boring.
Yeah.
Like the thought that the reason I brought this up is because I like a fire. I like to have a
Yeah,
fire. I'm not an
Campfire,
arsonist.
yeah.
I like to have a bonfire, a little fire of an evening when it's nice, and sit there, and I can stare into a fire for hours. It fascinates me. And I have the same thought every time is these flames, man has been staring at these for as long. It was one of the first inventions.
Yeah.
And like, to think that someone once discovered that must have absolutely shit themselves.
yeah.
And then
Can you imagine
they would have thought it was
if
magic.
you've never seen fire before?
They would have thought fire was some sort of like enemy, wouldn't they? Before they could harness it, before they had the ability to create fire,
to use it.
Imagine how terrifying fire is when you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
that's what is this crazy monster boiling hot.
Yeah.
But the reason I say about fire is because, like, I look at everything else that way. Then is like, it's crazy that me and you are sitting in a room now using this technology with this technology with people from all around the world having a conversation. When 100 years ago, not everyone had a house phone. And I know these are technologies, but we can witness the evolution of technologies because they happen so rapidly. So to think that's happening to us so slowly, like, I don't doubt that some generation in the future, if phones stay the way we do, we will have a crease in the pinky finger as an evolutionary advantage to hold. Everyone rests their phone on their pinky finger. And if phones stay handheld, that will become an advantageous part of evolution.
Yeah.
It would take
you'll have your own built-in smartphone holder.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen because we'll probably move away. They're already trying to move us from handheld.
Just be straight in your brain, won't it?
Please subscribe. And yet, Dave Godfrey, technology does not evolve. It's not alive. No, what I mean is, it's the closest thing we can witness is that what a phone looks like today is not what a phone looked like 100 years ago. That technology has, I think it's gradually gotten better. So the evolution of the technology, it's not a literal, but I'm saying that is technically slowly happening to us over.
Yeah, technology does evolve, but not in. It's not
natural evolution.
It's not the same as human evolution. It's just, phones keep getting better and better until eventually they won't be phones. Well, they're barely phones now. This thing is practically it's a tablet.
Yeah,
essentially, because I got old man eyes, and it's very handy.
The reason I made that comparison was because if you look at, like, say, the last 100 years with technology and compare that to last 100,000 years with mankind, do you know, like, if you condense that down into, like, it's probably very interesting to watch, far more interesting than poof.
Yeah,
God did it. That's boring.
Darwin's finches are proof of adaptation leading to evolution. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But yeah. Well, anyway, does everybody know what's happening next Sunday at 6 p.m. for episode 20? Episode 28.
Yeah, this is 27.
Right. Does everybody know what's happening next Sunday at 6 p.m. with episode 28 of the Creaky Blinder Show Live? Or do you know what we didn't mention at the beginning, Callum? And this is the final thing I'll say. I'll shut up and bugger off and leave you all alone then. The supercut.
Yes.
So the supercut that was uploaded at 7.
Yeah, well, it just gone up an hour ago.
It went up an hour ago on the Creaky Blinder Show channel. The only reason it's gone up there this week is because that's where it's always been living. But for those of you who weren't here at the very beginning, I'll very quickly give you the cliff notes. This whole thing is moving to the other channel. It's just completely separate from my Creaky channel. And as such, it no longer makes sense for the supercut to be uploaded over there. So now the uploads will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the main channel as always, and then the live show will the live show will be at 6 p.m. on the other channel, but the supercut will be going on this channel. That's right, Callum, there.
Yes, if by this channel you mean the main channel.
Yeah, the main channel. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
because we technically, well, not technically.
Because if you're watching this after,
Factually, we are streaming to... How many people are watching this now from the Creaky Blinder Show channel? Give me a thumbs up if you're watching it from the Creaky Blinder Show channel, not my main channel. Give me a thumbs up in the side chat if you are. I'm just very interested to see it.
according to, this is just me looking on YouTube, like on the app, there's 17 people watching on the
second
actual
channel.
Blinder Show
Yeah.
channel.
So just for I'll still do exactly the same. I'll still put it. I don't know if you noticed as well, but the thumbnail and everything for this episode went up yesterday. I'm gonna try and start putting them up at least 24 hours before they happen. With as descriptive a title as I can give it. I'm not gonna title them anymore things like, you know, just chatting or anything like that.
We should have the topic ready to go, basically.
Yeah. So they'll be going up. So let's have a look. So Chris is watching on the main channel. Storm Shadow hasn't got a clue. Yeah, we know that, pal. Yeah, I know. Okay. Maybe I'll think before I open my mouth in future. Right. I think we'll call this one. We'll call this one done. Thank you to everybody who super chatted as always. Thank you for any super stickers, new channel members. Is that a super chat I've missed? No, I did that when I was douchebag boob.
Yeah. Okay. I was just checking.
Dr. Nimrod, I am more than happy. I'm ecstatic that you're watching. So ecstatic. I'm finishing now. See you next time. Love you. Bye.
Thank you all for watching Creaky Live. Don't forget to follow me on all of your social media platforms. Have a good day and have a creaky week.